Hello. I have a homeopathically oriented doctor who's aware of energy and aware of, he's a good doctor. And just recently I went to visit him, routine checkup, and he said, you know, you're looking good, but we had a mutual friend who had created cancer for himself, and I don't know if this was a part of it or not, but he just said, why don't we do some blood tests on you? And I said, okay. And so he said,
yes,
why don't we
let's not assume well-being. Let's look for trouble.
Yeah, right. Well, this was kind of, and I was thinking about it, and I kind of went with it because he's very much as I say, he's a homeopath, and he's aware of energetic systems, and in the year I've been with him, he'd never mentioned this before, and so I said, okay, is there anything up? He said, no, I just want to, you know, it's kind of, you're getting to the age where it'd be good to, you know, have blood tests and check these things out and check your cholesterol. And I was going, okay, so
because that is the purpose of my existence, you see. That is what I have, and we do not mean this unkindly, but we are certain that this is a very well-meaning person.
Right.
But I have spent many years putting myself in the place where this is the way I interface with you. And while it seems that everything is perfect with you, shouldn't we probe a little deeper in order to satisfy my reason for existence?
Well, this is kind of, I mean, I just agreed to it, and I took him home and was there, and I listened to Abraham tapes on a regular basis, and kind of got, listening to one of the tapes, that I said,
do you know that if a doctor gives you a test when you're locked off, the results will be very different than the test he gives you when you're locked on?
Interesting, yeah.
And then you take the test and you call it reality. And we say, it was a snapshot of a moment in time, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything except where you were in that moment. Except once you get the test, then you focus upon it more. As you focus upon it more, it holds you in that vibration longer. As it holds you in that vibration longer, you disallow the well-being longer. As you disallow the well-being longer, then there's another test. In other words, we would not take the first test.
Well, that's my point. I haven't decided to do it, and I wanted to ask the question because it a lot of times.
Well, here's the criteria.
Yeah.
Do I take this test from a locked on or locked off position?
Well, why do I need to take it? If I know that the way I need to show up in life is be as locked on as I can, choose the thought that feels better, why do I need to take it in the first place?
Because you might want to please your friend.
I don't want to please my friend.
Because his vibration might be more dominant in the moment. He might have more energy revved up around the necessity of tests.
My friend the doctor?
Yes.
No, I'm fine with him. I'm fine with telling him no.
So then let's put this in a very clear place.
Yeah.
Does the test lock me on or lock me off? Does the idea of the test lock me on or lock me off? There's a question
the idea
about
of the test seems neutral. The possibility of a result coming back, I think that most everything is going to be fine, but I was thinking, well, if a result came back and said, oh, your cholesterol is too high, oh, we need to check this out, I was going, then the results may, I mean, I'm pretty good at, you know, being aware of where I'm putting my attention, but still, I'm going to go, you know, suddenly my attention may go somewhere where it hasn't been. So am I fooling myself by not wanting to go there?
Now that you've invested so much in this, you might as well have taken the test. In other words, you ran the energy gamut around it, you see. And we want these to be quicker decisions. In other words, we don't want you to struggle over, because the test in and of itself is a non-issue.
Okay.
The test, or even what it might produce in terms of results, are non-issues. Even if the test said you've got 14 things that people die from, it's a non-issue, because all any of that is a registering of whether you're locked on or locked off in the moment. You've heard us say that if you have some negative emotion and you don't realize what it means, so you don't reach for a thought that feels better and then allow the energy to flow, don't worry about it. The negative emotion is going to get bigger. And if you still don't recognize it, it will get bigger. And if you still don't recognize it, it will get bigger until eventually there is something tangible, something measurable that is still only an indication of being locked off your signal. We really want you to get it, that it wouldn't matter to us if you had come back. It wouldn't matter to you either. If you'd come back and said, I went to the most renowned doctor tester of physical bodies in the world, and he's giving me these horrible, horrible, horrible results, we would say, well, what's that got to do with anything? And you say, well, Abraham, don't you understand? According to these tests, I'm really, 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 really sick. And we say, no, according to these tests, you're really, really, really locked off your signal. Choose another thought and get locked back on, and all of that will go away.
So
and you say, oh, but I don't think I want to get locked on. I think I would rather study the results of these tests for a really long time and continue to use them as my excuse to, we are of course, superimposing all kinds of others over you, but you're getting the sense of what we were talking about? The test doesn't matter. The snapshot in time does not matter, because in the next moment, you can lock back onto your signal and allow the well-being to flood back into your experience. Where you are is only the platform from which you desire and then allow. And that's why you can never get it wrong, because in the next moment, you have a different desire, a more emphatic desire, a more specifically focused desire, which you have the ability to allow. You have the ability to allow. You just have to get it through your head that you have the ability to allow, and that allowing always feels good, you see. So then everything else, all that other stuff that people are all worried about, becomes inconsequential. The only question is, does it lock me on or does it lock me off? Period.
So most of the time when people take tests that medical personnel offer in usually well-intentioned reasons, maybe not well-intentioned, but usually.
Well, it's well-intentioned. They have a business. They're wanting to promote their business. They want to be of value to you. They've been taught by the society at large that the society at large does not understand their ability to be well, otherwise everybody would be, and that there are people that are wanting wellness and don't know how to get there. In other words, it's all co-creation. The doctor would not exist if it were not for the people who do not believe in their own ability to be well. It's co-creation, certainly. You've heard us talk that the range of thought is the range of thought that you hold. And if you've got this range of thought, that you do not have access to those bright, happy, fluffy thoughts over there when you're messing around in resistant thoughts that are depressing or angry in nature. So the best you can do is just reach for the least angry thought that you can find. You're not going to find a joyful thought in your range. Law of attraction says that it is not possible. So you reach for the best feeling thought that you can find, and it's not that much better than the worst feeling thought in reality, but there is a distinction between the worst thought and a better feeling thought. So as you find a better feeling thought and you deliberately focus upon it, or even put your brain on pause for a moment while your vibration catches up with the higher vibration, you will find yourself as that better feeling thought will then be the mid-range thought, and the terrible thought now is slightly out of range, and a little bit better feeling thought is in range. So now you reach for the best feeling thought, and even though it's not all that great, it does feel better than that one over there. So you hold it for as little as 17 seconds, and now it becomes the mid-range vibration, which means that really uncomfortable thought is gone altogether, and a much better feeling thought is coming into view. Well, can you see how the exact opposite of that happens when you're looking for trouble? In other words, you're a little unhappy, you've been locked off, you've got something that's bothering you, you're not allowing your well-being, so you don't feel as peppy as you usually do, or your joints are hurting, or there's something, and so you begin thinking about it, and you begin talking about it, and then somebody says you might go have that checked, and can you see how you're reaching for a less good thought, and a less good thought, and a less good thought? And then they say, let's take some tests. In other words, which way is that going? and then it takes how many days for the results of the test to come back, and what's the condition of your mind during that time? More locked on or more locked off? In other words, it's really easy to see how little by little you teach each other, for no good reason, how to lock off your signal. Because what you're doing, you're looking out into the statistics of the world of people whose vibrational patterns you know not, looking at the results of their vibrational patterns as manifestations, and then you're saying, that could happen to me. And we say, that is the symptom of being locked off. If you're not locked off, it could not happen to you. And you say, well, I worry about it. And we say, locked off. And you say, and I know people that that's happened to. And we say, locked off. And you say, well, bad things do happen. There is a boogeyman out there. And we say, locked off, locked off, locked off, locked off. And you say, like Esther said, but it's true. As if speaking something that is true gives you a little latitude in your vibration. Finally, you come to this place where you say, true or not, other people experiencing it or not, all of what everybody is living and what everybody has always lived has always been a combination of their locked-on moments and their locked-off moments. And every single time, if you're up close to somebody and you get to examine the content of their day in terms of their mood or attitude, you never, ever, under those conditions, question what they're living. Because what they're living is so evident in what they're letting in or what they're not letting in. In other words, The more joyful you are, the more you thrive. It is just that simple. So we wouldn't spend too much time trying to scrutinize any particular sticking point. We'd get off of it. A sticking point is a sticking point. Get off of it. Go into a clear space, connect with source energy, and then if you want to revisit it from a better feeling place, that's fine. But we would not go looking for trouble at the doctor's office.
Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is probably not take the test, and then I'll loan him this tape and have him listen to it. see what he thinks. But, well, thanks for
He
dropping.
won't like it.
I don't know. He may not. He may not.
Here's the thing that we would say. If you're really wanting to help someone that you care about, who is in the medical profession, ask this series of questions. Do you see different things happening to different people? Yes. Do you see same solutions, medicines, surgeries, processes being offered to different people, having different results? Answer is, of course, yes. So, can you see that there must be another underlying issue other than the face value of the behavior of a disease and the face value of the behavior of a solution? In other words, different people are getting different results from different things. Yes, I can see that there must be some other factor. Are you among those who are coming to recognize that attitude has a lot to do with the healing process? Almost all would say yes. Is it logical to you that someone could find patterns of thought that hold them in such a place of resistance that no matter what you as a physician does for them, their illness still prevails? Certainly. I've seen that, they would say. Can you accept that someone could have, by virtue of whatever they've been doing, a very powerful illness, and that somehow within the illness a strong desire could be born, and that somehow they could find a way of looking at it that would allow the wellness that defies all logic? Yes, I've read of those things. I've seen those things. And then say, then I'd like you to hear this tape, because this tape is telling you why that happens.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Indeed.